friends, welcome to episode 26 of Art to Heart podcast, where we dive into the big and small things in life that shape who we are and how we live. I'm your host, Rena, and today we are going to be talking about something I believe is so underrated and quite honestly under-discussed: the art of showing up. So let's understand, what does it mean to show up. First thing first, let's break down of what we mean by showing up. It sounds simple, right? I mean, it's just being there. But when you show up, you do the thing and that's it. End of story. But showing up is so much more than just physically being somewhere. Showing up is about bringing yourself, your energy, your presence, your intention into a moment, whether that's for your work, a relationship, or even just for yourself. Have you ever found yourself at a meeting or in a conversation or even in a workout where your body is there but your mind is somewhere way far off? Maybe you're on autopilot, going through the motions without really engaging. We have all been there, right? It's easy to confuse physical presence with true full engagement. But when we show up really, show up, something shifts. We start making a deeper connection with what we are doing and with the people we are doing it with. We start living with intention, not just reaching to the world around us or reacting to the world around us. And trust me, it can make the difference. Now, let's discuss, why is showing up so hard? Because it is so challenging for a lot of us, showing up can feel like a huge ask. Maybe you're juggling work, family, personal project, and it all feels like too much. Maybe you have got that voice in your head telling you that you're not good enough or not ready yet. It's so easy to procrastinate, to find excuses, to tell yourself that we will show up when the time is right or when we feel more motivated. But here is the thing: the time will never feel right. If you wait for the moment, we will keep waiting forever. Another reason it's hard to show up is fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of disappointing others or even ourselves. But here is a powerful thought: it's not about being perfect when you show up, it's about being consistent, and consistency doesn't require perfection. This takes me to the next point. Before we deep dive into the more points in how to show up, I just have a few of the scenarios which I want to bring it here. So imagine yourself as someone who is always doing your best, doing whatever you can, and then you have this constant fear behind your mind where it constantly reminds you that you're not good enough to be a part of certain societies, certain clubs, certain communities, for example. But once you reach to this certain set of people who have the same idea as yours, who have the same interest as yours, they really appreciate of what you are. We always assume whatever we are doing is such a small task, but the real people, the people who really love the work of other people or like-minded people, they truly appreciate for what we are doing. For example, whatever art I do, I never feel fulfilled of it. I'm always like, this is always best I could do. This is not something. And there was so much video which I've created but it deleted because I was not happy about it. But my sense of acceptance came for me through you people. So thank you very much for your constant support and leaving a very wonderful comment in any of my videos you're watching, because that makes me feel like, oh, there are people who really appreciate things. Trust me, we really underestimate ourselves for what we are doing. Please make sure to show up in the community or in a place where there are like-minded people. They will really see who you are and appreciate of what you are. Now, let's talk about the power of consistency over perfection. The thing is, showing up doesn't mean you have to nail it every time. Sometimes showing up looks like simply putting one foot in front of the other, even it feels like you're stumbling. Think about it. You don't have to write a perfect novel to call yourself a writer. You don't have to run a perfect 5K to call yourself a runner. You just have to show up, and that's where the magic happens. The act of showing up builds momentum, it builds trust with ourselves. Imagine yourself the first day at your college and you have no idea what's the certain course. Of course, you might have feel interest towards this, but at the same time, there will be so much which you have to gain through it. You feel yourself dumb when the professor keep on speaking so many things. But the end of the semester, you may have actually learned so much that your brain has a capacity to put everything at one space. And you, if you reflect those last 6 months, from 0 to 100 you would have gone. But remember the day one, right? And you showed up for your first class of your semester. You don't know what it is, but at the end of the semester you know everything about it. Let's be honest, life gets busy. We all have those days where we feel like we just can't. But this when the power of showing up really kicks in, because it's not about the grand gesture or huge accomplishments. It's about staying in the game even when you don't feel like it. And if you're stuck thinking, but I am not motivated. Here is something to remember: motivation follows action. I remember this exact line: motivation over discipline. Motivation is something you, as an immature adult, look forward to, but discipline is something which makes you an actual adult. Or it will definitely appears to anybody who wants to do best in the life. You don't need to wait to feel motivated to show up. Sometimes you have to show up first and the motivation will follow. The impact of showing up for others. Okay, so far we have talked about showing up for yourself, and what about showing up for others is the relationship we have, whether with friends, family, or colleagues, are built on one thing: showing up. It is easy to say, I care, or I'll be there for you, and how often do we actually show up when it counts? Showing up for others means being present in moment of joy, also in moment of struggle. It's about listening, not just hearing, and offering support even when it's inconvenient or uncomfortable. And showing up for others doesn't always mean solving their problem. Sometimes it is just about being there, letting them know they are not alone. Think about the last time someone really showed up for you. Maybe it was just a simple text to check in, or someone who took the time to really listen when you needed to vent. That feeling of being supported, of knowing you're not carrying the load by yourself, is powerful, and we can be there for others. Simple thing: if you have a parents, go look out for them. If you have a sibling, arrange a date with them. If you have a partner, make sure you communicate to them. If you have someone who have been through your toughest time of your life, show up for them when they invite you. Few steps you may have to follow up to show more. So, if showing up is something you want to start doing more of, whether for yourself or others, how do you make that happen? Here are a few small steps. Start small. You don't have to go big, especially in the beginning. It is showing up to your work without seems too intimidating. Just commit to 5 minutes, even if it is a big task at work, break it down into tiny, manageable pieces. Number second, be honest with yourself. Ask yourself, what's holding me back from showing up? Is it fear? Is it overwhelm? Is it just a bad day? Identifying the barrier is the first step to overcoming it. Number third, celebrate the small win. Every time you show up, even if it is not perfect, take a moment to celebrate it. You have made a choice to be there, to do the thing, and that matters. Number four, commit to consistency. Remember, it's about showing up again and again. Don't give yourself an out after the first try. Consistency creates momentum. Number five, be kind to yourself. If you missed a day or a week or a month, don't beat yourself up. Just show up again. The beauty of showing up is that there is always a chance to begin again. To sum up the everything what we have understood today, showing up is just another form of art. Not everybody has the capacity to have the confidence to be anywhere, just talk with random people, start asking who they are, what they are, like my father. He's someone who is an extreme extrovert person, that's what I feel, or that's what he was always. Maybe in his generation, they have the art of talking to everyone. Even if he sits in an auto or any travel zone, he automatically asks the opposite person that who are you, where are you from, and all this question, which I would never try to even bring up to. Even for example, I have been very close friend, I may not be able to communicate the same question to her. I'll just be like, what if it is too much personal to her? What if it is something I should not be crossing boundary, right? There are some people who cross boundary, but there are some people who also know how to communicate. So in that scenario, there will be people who will wake up every day at 4 a.m. for a 5K run, and there will be people who will wake up at 7 o'clock for just 1K run to prepare themselves up for the 5K run. There may be people who will be staying up all night long to finish their essay, and there may be people who will be struggling to write even one word for their essay. So the world is divided, because we do have the person who constantly does whatever they do, and there is also a person who is the day one, like a day one in your semester. So you don't have to compare anybody for that. The person who is able to do the all night for an essay is the same person who are you today, who are not able to even write one word, because they have been doing this for over and over and over and over again, and they have been consistent in what they are doing. So for example, even if you have a fear of meeting people, they are people like my father who would step out and just start communicating. And there are people like me who it's very difficult to communicate to other person because of a lot of overthinking. So for me, one of the thing I have made sure in this 2025 is I will tend to talk a little more than how are you. I'll tend to ask them something about their hobby, and I will just dwell into asking what this the hobby is about. So this year, my target 2025 is to communicate with more people and ask one question like, what's your hobby and why do you enjoy it? So don't push yourself too much. Life is very small and there is so much happening at this current scenario. You don't have to be very, very tough with you. At the same time, don't make yourself weak. Just bring the best in you one step at a time. Like my goal of 2025 is to ask a person who I'm communicating with, what's your hobby and why do you enjoy it? So, hope you may have taken some good lesson out of it and hope you have enjoyed this episode. Please make sure to like, share, and comment on this. And if it is there for someone, please share it with them. I'll be happy to. And also share what is your art of showing up. Till then, take care. Have a great life. See you all in the next week. Bye bye.